Hi guys, Jimmy Fluke here for Apex Racing Academy. This is the Magny-Cours track guide for the Mercedes-AMG GT4 for week 6 of the Falcon Tire Sports Car Challenge. As well as these track guides, we're also giving away the Mercedes-AMG GT4 data pack for free this season, and that will include your qualifying and race setups, your reference lap files, replay files, and access to the group coaching sessions which I host on a Tuesday evening. So all you need to do is go to apexracingac.com. There's a link in the description and put in your email in order to get your data pack for free. With Magny-Cours this week, we have an interesting dilemma where it's a pretty equal chance whether it'll be wet or dry. So this week we're going to cover the wet side of things. So let's get stuck in. Another reminder, guys, that you can get this season's Mercedes-AMG GT4 data pack for free over at apexracingac.com or by following the link in the description below. So into a lap we go here in the wet at Magny-Cours. In the dry, we would normally keep the car right over the green and white curbing, but because it's wet, it's super slippery out there, and we don't want to do that. Turn 1, a small brake just as the curb ends there on the right-hand side. And this time we're going to take all of the inside curb. We're not going to take a karting line through here. The sort of dirt on the inside we can actually use for a little bit of grip. So left side wheels through there, gentle with the throttle and let the car arc out towards the white line, but try and avoid obviously hitting the white line, otherwise you will probably end up backwards sliding across the track. So turn 2 then is pretty straightforward. Just try and avoid the curbing this time instead of hitting it in the dry. And then the brake point for turn 3 for Estoril is going to be pretty much the same as it would be in the dry, just because we're carrying less speed on the way in. So down into third, I'm going to throw the car in pretty deep here, all the way out towards the outside white line. There is no grip to be found on the inside, so we need to be very, very disciplined. Find the grip on the outside line and then be really, really patient back to throttle. So just take it nice and easy. We do need to cross back over the dry line at some point, so we can't really commit to the exit too aggressively here. Let the car get straightened out before then committing to full throttle, and really make sure to avoid the curbs on the way out. From here, pretty straightforward run up towards the Adelaide hairpin, which is going to keep the car fairly tight to the right-hand side, and spot the braking point for the Adelaide hairpin, which is going to be pretty much where we use it in the dry, pretty much on the 150 board. We've got markers either side to indicate that, but we're going to brake from the middle of the track. If we brake on the traditional racing line, we will have no grip and we'll go dead straight on. So we need to take at least a card's width across, and truthfully I go a little bit wider, or at least further towards the middle of the track, just to make sure that I do get clean tarmac to brake in a straight line on. Peak brake pressure though is still pretty much the same as the dry, but we're taking a slightly compromised line here. What ends up happening though is we end up going sort of straight through the rubbered line out towards where there is a bit more grip on the outside, and then full lock pretty much, get the car rotated, gentle with the throttle, and allow the car to square up as soon as you can so you can get the power down as efficiently as possible. Again, I try not to entertain the outside curbs. They are a death wish in terms of picking up traction, so keep well away from them. But the key focus is attack the entry and then make sure you're nice and straight then on exit. So coming towards the Nürburgring chicane, and again, we're going to stay well away from the racing line and the curbs and the paint, braking pretty much in the middle of the track. You can't really open up the corner all that much, so you're just going to have to deal with a compromised line through here. Gentle on the brakes, make sure that the wheel's nice and straight, grab third, and we're going to take the inside curb here. There's no real option to take a wet line through the chicanes here, so throttling up, taking all of the inside curb, which will actually lift the right side wheels up into the air so that we don't aquaplane quite as much. Gentle with the throttle, let the car land, and then same thing through the left. We're just going to have to deal with the fact that the puddle's there. If we skirt around this, we scrub so much speed off that it's just not worth it. So what ends up happening though is that the car will sort of slide out towards where the grip actually is, and then we're good to go. Braking for the 180 then, we try and dive straight over to the inside, well away from the rubber once again, and trying to brake in as much of a straight line as possible so that we can go through the painted, or not through the paint, through the rubbered in line. So braking pretty much at the end of the curbing on the right hand side and aggressively in a straight line. So get the car pointed, down into second gear, and then let the car sort of slide through the rubbered in line to find the grip on the outside. That's where we can get most of our rotation done. Gentle with the throttle pickup in second gear, and very similar to the Adelaide hairpin, get the car squared off as quick as possible and drive on out of the corner. Through the little kink of turn 10, this is possible flat, but it is very, very slippery once again. There's a little bit of standing water that can accumulate here, but it's very difficult to bring the car far enough to the left to actually run a karting line around the outside. So you'll end up kind of just sliding a little bit through. Just make sure not to engage too much of the traction control on the way through here, and all the way out towards the white line. From here, up towards the Imola chicane. And again, we want to stay well off the rubbered in line, braking well before the 50 marker here on the left hand side. So braking in a straight line where possible, and we're going to take a very similar sort of line and approach to the previous chicane. There's a lot of standing water pulled up on the inside here, but we're going to sort of work our way through it because the car will sort of slide through and then grip up. So right side wheels just sort of popping up over the curb there just to sort of clear the puddle slightly, and then through the left we're still going to attack as if it was a dry line, with the expectation that the car is going to feel a bit slippery, but will fade out towards the outside line where there is plenty of grip. So smooth with the throttle, back to full throttle, and then but then keeping the car towards the middle of the circuit, again to avoid the rubbered in line on the brakes for Chateau d'Eau. So braking just as the curb sort of thins out a little bit on the left hand side. Moderate peak pressure here, but yeah, braking in the middle of the track to maximize braking efficiency. And then with the corner being so slow and in first gear, a traditional line is absolutely fine here, at least in terms of the apex. The car lands, rotates, just make sure to take a shallow exit so that we can get the power down as efficiently as possible. It is very tricky. If you need a short shift into second, then that's absolutely fine, but do not entertain the outside white line or the outside curbing. So coming down the hill towards the Lycée section to end the lap, and a little quirk just with how the rubber has built up and how it typically does build up through here. The rubbered in line isn't right against the white line on the brakes on the way in, so we can actually get some clean braking done on what I would call the traditional racing line here. If the rubber is sufficiently built up coming down the hill here, then we need to move back across towards the middle of the track, but I found a window of opportunity to brake in a straight line and not on the rubbered line. So nice and tight to the white line, and I was able to get clean braking done here. strong threshold braking, sort of 70% or so, down into second. It is still going to be slippery with downhill braking here, but it is possible to get straight line braking done here, and that then really opens up the angle for the right-hander here. I do try and avoid the inside curb here. It will sort of push you quite far wide, and we need to get straightened up as quick as possible so that we don't entertain the outside curb here before the final chicane. So power down in second, again avoiding the inside curb, or sorry, the outside curb, and then from here, because the chicane is so tight, we kind of just have to take a traditional line through here. So just lift in second, take a little bit of curb, not too much, and then through the left as well, take as much though as you can so that we have as much room to work with to get the car straightened. And then it's a really short run to the line for a lap of Magny-Cours in the wet in the Mercedes-AMG GT4. Thanks for watching. Make sure to go over to apexracingac.com for your free Mercedes-AMG GT4 data pack for the remainder of the season. For further questions and information, we host a group coaching session on a Tuesday evening, so make sure to check the details in the Apex Racing Academy Discord, which will be available to you through your email order. But that's all from me this week. We'll see you guys in the next one.